Welcome back everybody to Mile and Me. Now, this episode is an absolute genius episode, right? And it's how to appeal a mandatory reconsideration, right? So you've had your mandatory reconsideration, right? And it's been refused. Don't panic because I've got you here, right? Is a lot of people think that's the end of the road and that's it, right? But it absolutely isn't. And I'm going to tell you why. In fact, many people only win their PIP appeal. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to appeal a PIP decision, step by step. What forms you need, what evidence helps, and how the process actually works. So without further ado, as they say, let's get into it. So first things first, right, is, you've received your, I'm going to call it an MR, right? It's mandatory reconsideration, but MR is so much easier to say, isn't it? And this is a letter confirming that the DWP have looked again at their decision, right? And if they still said no or didn't award the correct level of PIP, then your next step is an appeal. And it's an appeal to an independent tribunal. Now, this is important, right? Because the tribunal is not the DWP, right? They've gone now. It's run by the HM Courts and Tribunal Service, okay? And the panel usually includes like a judge, a doctor, and a disability specialist, okay? And their job is to decide whether the law was applied correctly based on your evidence and how your condition affects you. So, to be fair, they often overturn the DWP decisions, right? From what I've read, this seems to be the way forward. So you normally have 1 month from the date of your MR to submit your appeal, right? So you've still got quite a bit of time, right? So there's no rush to do it. But even if you've missed that deadline, you can still appeal up to 13 months later if you explain the reason why, if your condition is affecting you. So don't assume it's too late if you pass the month. There's still ways around it, okay? So you're going to say, Mike, well, what form do I need for this? So to start your appeal, you need to submit a form called an SSCS1, okay? And you can do this online or by post. So you've got a best of both worlds there. So if you search on Google, appeal PIP decision SSCS1, something should come up quite nicely and you'll find the official government page for it. And the online appeal is usually the quickest and easy option, like most things are nowadays, aren't they? With a post and things like that, it seems to take ages to do anything. So you'll need your national insurance number, your MR reconsideration notice, and your contact details. And then you explain why you disagree with the decision. As much detail as we can. So you're like, Mike, well, what do I write in it? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you. This part worries people, right? But it doesn't need to be complicated. The key is to focus on how your condition affects the PIP activities, which we would have done all the way through, right? But for example, the usual suspects: preparing food, washing and bathing, dressing, moving around, communicating, managing your medication and things like that, okay? Explain why the decision was wrong. So, for example, you might say something like, the decision says I can prepare food safely, but due to my condition, I can't stand safely or chop ingredients without any kind of risk. Or along the lines of, the assessor said that I can walk 50 metres, but in reality, I cannot do this reliably due to fatigue and pain. Okay, sometimes they just miss it off. And, the key PIP rule is you must be able to do activities reliably, meaning safely, an acceptable standard, repeatedly, and within a reasonable time, which we've been through millions of times, haven't we? If you can't do something under those conditions, it should score points, and they'll see that when they have a look at your appeal. So evidence that seems to help this sort of thing, right, is, you know, get it in, it strengthens your appeal, but it doesn't have to be, you know, complicated medical reports. You know, helpful evidence can include things like, I don't know, like a GP consultation letter, or an occupational therapist report, or care plans, or prescription lists, or like symptom diaries, you know, statements from your carers or your family. You know, just think things like that. Even a short written explanation from someone who helps you on a daily basis can be absolute gold. But remember, the tribunal often, right, focuses heavily on your own explanation of your difficulties. So most of it is down to you, which is brilliant because you're the one living with it. So then you're like, well, what happens next then? So I'm going to tell you, because that's what we do. Once you submit the appeal, the DWP must respond. They'll send you something called a bundle. It sounds good, doesn't it? But, you know, but the bundle contains your claim form, your assessment report, your MR decision, and their explanation of the decision. Okay, so read through it carefully just to make sure you know what's on it. And you'll often spot mistakes or assumptions. Okay, get your highlighter out again and highlight them. And you can send additional evidence or written arguments before the actual hearing as well. So you can get that in, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Why not? Preparation is key with this, isn't it? So the actual hearing is, most PIP appeals involve a hearing, usually by video or in person. And this might sound quite intimidating, but many people say that the tribunal itself is actually fair and respectful. They will ask questions about your daily life and how your condition affects you, right? So they'll just ask you these questions, and the panel is trying to understand, they're trying to help you. So what you can actually do, right, is, you know, and if you can't do something reliably, be honest with it, be specific, and don't play down your difficulties. We've said this from the millions of videos I've done, right? Don't play down the difficulties that you guys have day to day. And then we're going to look at like the reality of the appeals. And here's something like important to know. A large number of PIP decisions are changed at tribunal. It happens. It's not right, but it happens. You know, you shouldn't have to go this far, right? So if you genuinely meet the criteria, don't give up after your MR. Please don't give up, right? Because appealing can make a massive difference and get you the help that you need. I don't agree with the process, you know my views on it, but it's the hoops we've got to jump through. And, you know, if this video has helped you and it's helped you understand the PIP appeal, then please consider giving me a like and a subscribe and a hype and all this sort of thing. On this channel, I share real experiences with, like, you know, I've got MS. So, you know, it's real experiences of things like this and how the PIP system works. So I'll leave you there. Thank you again for subscribing and watching this channel. And, you know, it just means a world to me. So don't give up on something you're entitled to. Keep going. There's always something else you can do. Okay, so take care, and I'll see you guys on the next one.